If you are Brokie, you don't have enough money, but you still want to raise your testosterone, this guide is for you. So congratulations for onboarding on this course. This will be a completely free course. So soon when you reach a point of time where things are getting better for you and you can invest more, we can work on something together to build a more comprehensive routine for busy professionals like you. You're gonna be a busy professional soon, and that is something I am an expert of, alright, helping busy individuals. This course will be suitable for those who don't have much money to invest in things like food, expensive blood work, and expert coaches, but still want to boost their testosterone, which is good and a must because high testosterone will propel you towards more success and growth. Okay, so what your testosterone levels should be. The average testosterone levels of men today is so low, man, that we are normalizing low testosterone. What the hell happening? In fact, the drop has been so bad for the past 2 decades. There is a 25% reduction of the average testosterone levels. Can see here in the graph. So it's no wonder why so many males now are weak and lazy. Testosterone plays a huge part in our biological functions as a male. We went from 605 nanograms per deciliter to 450. That's crazy. Our ancestors 200, 300 years ago, or even 1000 years ago, used to have around 800 to 1200 nanograms per deciliter of total testosterone. Now we're sitting at an average 450. What is this, man? Our aim is to raise our testosterone levels to at least 800 nanograms per deciliter with minimal effort and money using only natural methods. So no SERM or SARMs, TRTs, steroids, we don't use that. We don't use those. Alright, part 1, beginners' grave mistakes. So there are a lot of grave mistakes that newbies do that is wasting a lot of time, a lot of efforts going to the dustbin. So the first step is to stop committing these grave mistakes. The first mistake people are doing is getting a testosterone booster. Oh my god, these people are scams, man. These companies are scams. They're useless and most of them lack studies. Most of them are not safe as well, and they contain a lot of weird ass ingredients. You know, something like Fidogia gratis that is purported by Andrew Huberman, which is a shitfluencer. If you've been reading my threads, I have exposed how Andrew Huberman is a scammer and he promotes this Fidogia gratis, which there are no clinical human trials, only animal trial. And you want to trust this guy? No. And he's just one of the lot of many examples of how testosterone boosters are mostly scams out there. Okay? So stay away from them. Next thing is paying for low ROI food. So this is also a grave mistake because you are broke. Okay? You have a limited amount of money. So why you should spend money on things that cost us so expensive and gives you very little in return, right? You should be focusing on the best foods that are the most price effective, or in other words, the most nutrient dense foods. You don't want to waste your time on chicken breasts and things like white rice because they don't have enough micronutrients, alright, the building blocks for testosterone. You want the foods like oysters, high in zinc. You want foods like steak, high in zinc, cholesterol, fats. You want all of those. Eggs, right? Those are the high ROI foods. And when I say low ROI, it means low return on investment. Okay? It can be expensive, it can be cheap, but in the end, how good are those foods that will return your money back for your usage? You want foods that will pay you back a lot, right? That's worth it for your money. Okay, next. Being sedentary even outside of the gym. Just because you go to the gym, that gives you zero permission to be sedentary. Okay, read that again. You have zero permission to be sedentary even you go to the gym. Good thing if you are broke, chances are that you are doing trade jobs that you need to be on the move a lot. But some still have desk jobs and you cannot afford to be sedentary. So walk at least 10,000 steps a day. And guess what? It's free, right? In fact, you don't need to go to the gym to be high T. Yes, I coach a lot of busy fuckers who don't go to the gym and still getting high testosterone. Okay, next. Thinking being high testosterone is expensive? No, this is just an excuse. It's the wrong mindset that you have, and I want you to change that. Okay, think about it. Sunlight is free, walking is free, socializing is free, exercising is free. You have no excuse to be low testosterone even if you are broke. In fact, broker people needs even more effort to raise their testosterone. If you are broke, you need to spend more of your effort to raise your testosterone. And that testosterone will help you to generate more money. Okay, more aggression, more drive, more motivation for you to get even more money. You're gonna compete with high status individuals more. Next, paying for super expensive blood work every month. You know, I recommend everyone to do blood work at least once to get a good picture of where they are. But the problem is getting them every month, especially if they are expensive. Okay, it's not really getting a DHT test for $600. It's just not going to be worth it. If you are rich, yeah, sure, then go ahead, put all of those needles where you want, in your arms, your butts, your dick, whatever. But those money should be going to investing on foods and gym memberships. Next, not tracking your meals. Okay, everyone should track their meals unless they have been doing for years and years and they know not just about the macros, okay, but the micros. The micronutrients are actually much more important than the macros, because you cannot fuck up your macros if your micros are good and on point. Listen that, you cannot fuck up your macros if your micros are on point. So too many people are lazy as people to even do this. Don't do this mistake, okay? If you haven't installed Chronometer yet, go to the App Store now and install the Chronometer very fast. It is the best app to track your meals and foods, and it even covers the micronutrient. And finally, not making your own meals. You are broke, dude. Why do you want to keep eating outside? If you are poor, dude, you have to make your own meals. You have to meal prep. It's not the same as people who are busy and who are always making a lot of money. These people, it doesn't matter for them. They can spend a lot of money outside. And especially the healthy foods outside is going to cost them a lot more. So of course, for them, it's not really a problem to spending a lot of money on healthy foods outside. Okay, a lot of people rely too much on outside foods. But another problem of relying on outside foods is that they are too inflammatory and have little to none high quality fruits and vegetables, which is so important for maximum testosterone. Of course, you can still eat outside, but to make sure you have enough nutrients, you got to plan so that you fill in those micronutrients with meals that you prepare. Listen, there will be days you go outside and eat outside, okay? Maybe even every day, maybe every lunch you go eat outside. But remember, you have to meal prep so that you fill in those macros with meals that you prepare. That is why Chronometer is going to be your best friend, okay? It will help you to find which part of your diet is inconsistent or that there are a lot of deficiencies in, and you are going to prepare your meals according to those deficiencies. So that's it for part 1. Now we're going into part 2.